Alright. Sounds whatever. Here. Oh no. Later. I did delete some frames since last time. I didn't like the way Skeletor was standing up. So we're just going back to when he was sitting down. And then cutting in there. And then I'll have him stand up a little bit later. Try some different music. See if it won't get muted this time. Over a little bit. For my button to reconnect. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay, awesome. Ready to go? And it said that the camera failed to take a picture. Why, though? Failing to take a picture. Good. Oh, right? Huh. Working? This. Well, this makes no sense. Back to the camera setting. Really? Oh. Alright. Go turn the camera off and on again. And eventually, I'll work on this stop motion. Alright. There's my hand. It's working. Theory, this should catch up to what it was. And now, I press this button. It takes a picture. Perfect. Now I'm doing stop motion. Nope. should put something in his mouth to tighten his jaw so I can open and close it more precisely. The beat kind of dropped for a second, but I guess it was supposed to. Oh. Oh, my invisible hands are because of the onion skinning of the animation in Dragon Frame, and the music is just random. Hopefully, it doesn't get muted music for Twitch and YouTube. We move the hand back a little. Just gonna give it a settle so that it does not stop completely, even though we don't need to. That's what I like in the sped up version, when it's just like the characters seem to be moving in their own real animated time, but my hands are just going around like it's the Speed Force. That's the best feeling of all. This version is the slowest version of doing anything possible. Yeah, the last 2 or 3 Instagram posts are the last 2 streams just sped up completely. But at least on the actual YouTube channel itself, at the end of a few of the Skeletor's House episodes, if you want to call them that, I usually have like the speed version of most of it. After a few, anyway. Where was his head going? Oh yeah, this is the best. I've been just using the free stop motion studio or stop motion studio pro on the iPad, and there's a Mac version as well that I was using. But this one is both expensive, but it's quite professional, and lets me use this little number pad as a nice pre-set set of function buttons. No, this is all on my computer. Yeah, that's pretty much why I ended up breaking down and paying for this one, because there's just no others that have the setup that I like and allow you to drop in audio. And in this one as well, I can draw technically on the screen or on a layer, and then kind of plan out timing and stuff. So if I wanted to specifically animate from A to B somewhere, I can mark it on the screen, then animate to it. Excuse me. Instead of actually drawing on my screen with a marker, I guess. Which I believe is the Brad Bird way of doing things. Hard though sometimes, and you can only really move certain things so much on a Skeletor. Yeah, on the right side here as well, you can, I mean, it's covered with some text, but you can leave notes for yourself on the frames, so you can also, like, plan out, like I have here, just put a few letters here and there. Let me not get too lost. Very slow, though. It's like the third or fourth hour of working on this thing, and not really anything happens. They're just talking back and forth. Just a little bit of dialogue that I thought might be funny. Takes so much process. Like I said to I think Space Goonie was listening there the other day. He said it was relaxing as well. And for the longest, like every time I set it up, I'm just like, oh, I should turn off that sound. But at the same time, it's like there's a certain level of one, nostalgia for a really nice old Shutter sound. It feels and sounds good. And two, sometimes I'm just not sure if it's taking a picture, and this way, it gives me a certain level of confidence that it's done. Well, the first, like, 2-3 hours, not including setting up and lights and gluing things to the floor, that equaled, like, 7 seconds. The second hour and a half, or yeah, it was like an hour and a half and an hour and a half, that led up to almost about 14 seconds. I just deleted about a second of that and started over again, before the stream. And technically, the dialogue part, the animated part, is about 30 seconds long. But technically, I'm supposed to be, cheating here. I'm making it easy on myself because, Skeletor doesn't have a proper mouth. And he's talking to Wonder Woman, who has a helmet on her head. So it's supposed to be like, this is how I can get away with 30 seconds of stop motion in an evening. But because I got some nice fancy software and some gear to do it with, it seems ridiculous not to really play with all of the pieces. I mean, realistically, like, I could make this same thing in like the whole thing in like an hour if I just drew it in Flash and just did the same basic little animations, but there's just something about, again, just feeding that inner child that was just like, I just want to make these toys move. Why can't I just make these toys move? This Rankin guy, this Bass guy, they're out here moving stuff all over the time. All over the time, all over the place, all the time, every Christmas. Not once are they like, hey, here's $50,000 worth of stop motion gear. Anonymous child somewhere in Canada. Feeling like this music is going to suddenly play an advertisement. Wait, was this thing going? So. Oh, the He-Man special to me is the Skeletor Christmas special. Only a few years ago that I actually watched it. I mean, we'll do a Christmas special with these guys. Technically, the first Skeletor's house, I've recorded a bunch of stuff, I filmed a bunch of stuff, and then it was Christmas time. I had to kind of dismantle where I had everything set up. So I've got, like, on my iPad, filmed with my iPad. It's the lighting is all over the place. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like Skeletor decorating a Christmas tree while Soundwave is in the foreground on the couch, and he's like telling a story. But mostly I'm just like, oh, this is too insane. Like, it's just very long and boring, but that's kind of the joke, is that it's super boring and long, and Skeletor's getting frustrated with it. But the more I try to think about it myself, I'm just like, oh, I'm not Michael Cera. I just can't be boring and annoying for a long time and still feel good about it. Not that Michael Cera is annoying and boring. I just mean that, you know, sometimes he does those characters that are just like, this is genius and amazing. And I don't have that. I don't have that gravitas to pull that off, even in toy form. You're the king of the weaklings, Michael. Here's your award. Don't feel bad about it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Also, here's your weird mustache award that you seem to grow even if you're not doing a role that requires this weird mustache. Congratulations, Michael Cera. You and Jonah Hill and what's that other guy? Adam Sandler. All walking around dressed the way you do. And we're all jealous. Not that you can pull it off, but that we can't pull off knowing that we're super rich while we're wearing garbage. Even though I'm sure it's $4,000 garbage. Forgot to close his mouth. Oh no. Sure, this will still look fine. There was a period there where I'm not even sure. I think it might have been before Arrested Development, or at least Arrested Development was probably on, but I wasn't watching it yet. But I just watched everything he was in except Arrested Development. And then I watched Arrested Development, and that's just the greatest thing in the world. Hey, Miles. Not busy running some sort of online trivia convention? Winning the war against the Redditors? Knowing all of the Jack in spite of everyone else not knowing Jack at all? Greetings, everyone. I hope you're ready, because I do in fact know Jack, and I'm here to tell you all of his secrets. Steam! Talking about games on Steam, 'cause you know their names. I don't know much about Steam. Of course it does. That is your main knowing is Jack. Um, yeah, well, I mean, as a Miles plays a lot of You Don't Know Jack or Seventh Dementia, but yeah, no, I was all like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll start playing games on Steam. I've got a fast computer now. And then I put Steam back on my computer for the first time in 8 years, and a bunch of stuff was like working. Like, wow, I can play games now. And then Steam was all like, hey, all the Macs have been upgraded, or everything is like 64-bit now, but we're all 32-bit, but you're all 64-bit, so now you can't play any of these games? Like, what? I was only playing the one game at that point, and I was all excited. I'm gonna pay money for some games. And then no other games worked, so Steam is dead to me again. Alright. Works better this time. Okay. Theory. Alright. Got a little glob of glue on his back to use as a clamp. Already used to give me something to clamp onto. First, let's adjust the camera. On the action, of course. So we're a professional over here. The last few days, last couple hours, all I've been doing is playing Maneater on the Switch, and I genuinely just can't get enough of it. I've already, reached level 30 for the shark itself. There's still lots of stuff to do. I just realized, there's like 5 sections of the map left, so I think I went a little too hard on the just farming for fish and feeding the shark as constantly as possible. He still definitely has some more upgrades, and it's just hard to just put it down and not just keep eating everybody on the beach. Alright, that'll do. Don't move. Even though this doll could easily move. Oh wow. With a setting of 2, if I know what I'm doing. Still connected? Yes. Alright. Where it gets nuts. Microphone. Oh, there's no metal underneath there. Maybe this will be enough weight. Oh, there's some metal. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to stuff that out. I can hide it behind the chair. Much of it. Much there. Right. Twist it round a bit. We can hide this behind Skeletor's head, right? Come on. So close. Begging on his knees. Please. Oh, yes. God. Everyone is Netflix. I'm gonna go. Getting up like an old man, pushing himself up on his hands. Don't forget to turn on the onion. Kidding. Know what your nation's thing. Oh yeah, no, I looked at all those things. I really considered, yeah, going through the whole process, but I have so many other more important programs that I want to run that I just don't have issues with. Uh, so that's pretty much why I got a Switch anyway. Like I had all my old fun Nintendo games. Switch covers everything that I need. I'm not that big of a gamer. Don't go chasing those waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Gonna get your own way or something. Don't remember the rest of the words. Especially not when I'm trying to do this. No, I don't want no scrubs. Scrubs is a guy who hang from the feather. Nope. Yours having a good time. Doing a little bit of mine. Gonna take our time. Close a little bit. God, 50 minutes I've been doing this. There, I think we'll put a Wonder Woman. Oh.
Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to use the little boy's wee room.
That will work.
Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to use the little boy's wee room.
Yeah. Or that I have a clean image background so I can Photoshop this Skeletor out of here. Making move, we'll just off really. There, now I have a blank frame. Ooh, Drop stuff out late. that. And here with the muffled sounds playing underneath. Take more frames. Volume button.
Yes! Now if... Yeah!
Ooh, we're at 20 seconds. in 15 minutes. Note. Seconds. A lot of frames for nothing. This is why we put helmets on characters. Sorry to make it happen. work. Kept him sitting in the chair. I know that he's always safe there. My microphone is a million miles away, so you can barely hear what I have to say. Maybe it's better. What if? Longest process in the world. Alright, this will work. Move it a little. Maybe I can get rid of this. Ugh. There. Oh, I lose the continuity a lot. I just usually change what I'm doing so it suits whatever I've broken. Just focus. Just focus. Right. In theory. Alright, so that's gonna come out nice and clear. That will be fine. That will be fine. Put some more blue stuff on his. Move around. Moving around too much. Oh yeah, really move it. In here. Brains. Again. Alright, that should keep him reasonably. Oh. Moving the lights around. Yes, music. Oh god, yeah, there's no... Anytime I've done stop motion without looking at the frames before, or just any animation in general, it's just insane. Wish I could look at the full quality image while I was doing this. It's all blurry. You gotta go at least even 18 frames a second. We'll make something really nice. Just have fun with the frames, even if it bounces around a lot. Eventually, you just start like moving things around. Of course, I say that, and I kind of just wish this was done. My shoulders hurt. Hungry again. Oh, snaps. Got to move the hand. Undo. A little bit more. As far as we could move it. Limitations of action figures. Yeah, when I'm not using this, expensive version, the cheaper version of this, or the free version of this, is Stop Motion Studio, just in the Apple Store. I don't know if there's a PC version or an Android version, but for an iPhone or an iPad or a Mac, it's fantastic. And it lets you see, like, the onion skin. You can see a frame or more beforehand, just like this. You can add sounds. Oh god, yeah. I am exhausted. We're gonna give Wonder Woman's head some movement over here. Oh no, his head's already up as hard as it can go. Oh, that's like the first, when I was in animation school, me and two of my friends, we took basically a bunch of action figures. We took over this like storage room at the school, and back then you could only take like, I don't know, maybe 50 pictures at a time on a digital camera, and you had to upload them, and it took like an hour to upload them. So we'd take like 100 frames, upload them. One of us would take a break and go sleep, while the other two would upload or dump the photos or take more stop motion pictures. And we just did that all night long until we had a character like basically trying to escape from a piece of paper. Like, and he was an animation at first, then he popped out to be a 3D figure. Then he ran down the hallway. It took forever. Yeah, having a program you can just go right into without having to redo it. The other good one that is recommended is just Premiere. I don't know, that's also expensive. But there's a ton of just free stop motion apps out there. Even just like the Lego one. There's like a Lego stop motion app. I've never tried it, but it seems to be pretty decent. Has a bunch of features and whatnot. Should be for a bunch of different operating systems.
Yes, his face. Yes, his face. Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Boys, we roam.
Oh god, I never tried to do with a VHS recorder. I was tempted to. I never had one or access to one. I would have if I did. But yeah. When I really started trying to do stop motion again, it was when Vine came out and I was trying to do Vine stop motions. And what a pain that was, because every time you tap the screen to start and stop it, you're shaking the whole camera and just making a mess. Like, even this way, like, I can still move some stuff around and delete and add and subtract frames, but, like, once it's done, everything's been moved around, so it's nearly impossible to get the camera back to where it was, so for the most part, I usually, like, once I start, I can't stop until I get a section done until I move the camera again. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. How long is this? This has always been 2 hours. Stop motionating. I'm basically just trying to get Skeletor to a point here where he's just looking off. I can like cut to something else.
Yeah. Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Yeah, boys.
Oh. Oh. Thought he was gonna. Oh yeah, that's why like the setup that I have now, like my camera is plugged into power, my lights are plugged in even though they're USB, but they would always, you know, run out of a charge. This is like my most optimal setup, and I have a space where I can just leave it here. It's not like on my coffee table like it was for the longest time. But just trying to get to a point where, yeah, where if the lighting is a little bit different and I cuss and I want to try to figure out how to get it back. If I do nudge my tripod, or if I'm, you know, if I do decide to mop the floor or, you know, clean or move anything. It's an arduous process. I wouldn't want to do it for an actual job for sure. I don't know how. Anybody relies on a paycheck from stop motion, because I just feel like you would just have to start it over again and again and again and again, or just be really good at CG and then be able to fix everything after the fact. Oh, what did I do? Oh, Yeah, like I just set this up where, I mean, it's still just in my cramped little office, but off to one side. I got rid of some plants that I had in here, and it's just like, oh, instead of plants, I'll move this old dresser. Oh god, yeah. I mean, things that Harryhausen did, like, I don't even understand when I watch any of that old stuff where it's like, that truly was, like, knowing what you were gonna do beforehand, animating it all out, having it match up with film, even though, you know, it's a very difficult process back then. And it just looks so amazing. Like, again, going back to those Argonauts skeleton fights, they're just amazing. They're just unbelievable. Like, at least with some of the King Kong stuff, you can see how it's, you know, it's a fluffy figure and it's being moved around and manipulated by somebody clearly. But those skeletons are still to this day just like they're so solid, they're so there. The timing, like, he clearly also had somebody, or he had to have had somebody acted out and then rotoscope slash copy some of their movements, because it was just too perfect. Just too perfect. Speaking of which, why did I just open his... those... and that one. Further. Opus wider. Oh, not yet. Oh, the amount of steps, and then they have to like basically double expose the film with a bunch of like crazy film processes to make it onto one thing. It's oh, it's just amazing. Like every time it's just like how I don't know if you ever watched Corridor Crew on YouTube. They're just doing like amazing CG effects, and still when they actually go back and look at stop motion or even just old CG effects, and how this was basically impossible back in the day, but here it is happening. I mean, realistically, like Blender is free. I have it on my computer. I went to school for 3D. I should realistically learn it again, and because it is like way easier than it was back then, and do stuff like this just in CG. Technically, I could kind of do more without working so crazily on it, but they're still like, I have to build all the models, I have to make them look like blah blah blah, whatever. But the child inside of me that I'm trying to make happy, always just wanted to take these specific like Masters of the Universe figures and make them move. Like, I really spent a lot of my time looking at and posing my characters, posing my toys. And when I did see any sort of, you know, this is how stop motion is made videos, that's what I just did in my head. I would just make a pose, and just imagine so hard, like, oh, someday, if I actually did take pictures of these, oh, it would animate like this. It would probably look pretty great. But they're super inspiring. Like, they literally, every time I watch that, I'm like, ooh, I want to learn some 3D. They do like special effects for probably commercials and TV shows and whatnot. They'll just kind of like do little art challenges within the studio, and everything they do is interesting. They dissect other movies for their or how great or how terrible the effects are. Upstairs started stomping round. They do it at 6 a.m. and then at 7 p.m. I wish they'd move away. I wish they'd take their dog out for a walk. 'Cause I hate them. I hate them so much.
Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off, boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off, boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off, boys, we roam.
Oh my. So yeah, my Tuesday stream, on and making up random songs. Skeletor's turning one way, bring his hand up again. Have to remember that Wonder Woman's leaning to the right, but not too far yet. Oh god, yeah, that was one where even the CG itself, you're just like was just done with numbers and just sent away. Like I remember a long time ago trying to do stuff in like Windows 3.11 CAD program where it's like just trying to draw a picture, but you're just putting in coordinates. And I had no idea where they were gonna be or what anything was. All the CG is like that, and then everything else is filmed in like black and white, and then stripped out, and then put a glowing screen behind it. You know, yeah, refilm that so it's exposed, and still like not know what it's gonna look like for literally like 3-4 months before it comes back from being processed. Oh god. I'm pretty sure the only reason I liked Star Wars was because of the Tauntauns in the beginning. I mean, I also love puppets and stuff, so like the Ewoks and the animatronics in the face. But that Tauntaun walking, between Tauntauns walking, the AT-ATs walking, and Ed 209 in RoboCop, like that's it. Like even the way RoboCop walked, like he went to mime school for that. Like spent 1,000 hours of my life just like trying to walk like RoboCop, and again just still basically thinking of it in terms of frames instead of moving like a person or like a robot. Especially, yeah, stuff with fur on it, like I made this character over here. I can drag this in without wrecking everything. Well, this shows up on the other camera. Let me switch. So, oh, this is hard. So this guy here, he's got like magnets in his feet. We can stick. I don't want to knock down. Oh, but got like a clay head, and then I put some wire in a jaw. I can move his mouth and then some wire here. But like every time I'd move him around, since he is just like covered in felt, you can like see all the movement. So I'm gonna make him again. Like this was like the first thing I ever made, but he has like an armature inside, like a full metal. Have two of these. One is inside him, and then this is the other one. It's got like all the joints everywhere and something where I can latch on. But I want to make some characters to do an actual like short of some kind. Oh yeah, I've definitely done that before. I've done a lot where I've just got the TV on in the background, and you can just fully just see the lights are just going crazy, shifting in behind. Sometimes with this, it takes a second to take a picture. So there's every once in a while there'll be some frames where there's still a blurry version of my hand in the frame, and that kills me. Sometimes I do it on purpose and I think it looks cool. But other times I'm just like, oh my god, everything is just flickering and vibrating. But the way, like this, I'm in a super old building anyway. So I was doing this stop motion project for a friend of mine, and I just had curtains and blankets, everything, like tape over every possible clock or light, microwave, everything, and it was just, I just couldn't for the life of me keep the lights from flickering. But so I went and I bought a Final Cut plugin, specifically supposed to remove flickers from stuff like that, and it worked amazingly enough. It wasn't perfect, but it cleaned it up pretty good. But then with this program here, one of the first animations I did when I got this, like literally like a month or two ago, 3 months ago maybe, my lights were all over the place and I didn't realize, and it was just flickering like crazy. But when I exported from this program, which again is way too expensive, but it just got rid of any and all of that flicker like on its own. I was like, oh my god, I don't have to run through another program. Like, I already forget how much it was. I think it was like $300. It was something insane. And then this little magic box here was not included, but instead of it costing $30, it was like just $10 plus shipping. So I'm like, you know what? I'll get it. And it was like about 5 seconds after I ordered it when I realized, I think that's just a number pad. I could get one of those myself for $15. But it feels like it's pretty good quality. It connects really well. I've gotten other ones before to do the same purpose for streaming and whatnot, to give myself different buttons to switch between characters on stream, and it would just always disconnect, and that would drive me crazy. Alright, I think I'm gonna switch to another camera angle after this shot, or this frame, when he says his next thing.
Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off. Nice. Boys, we roam.
Frames. Okay.
Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off. Nice. Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off. Nice. Boys, we roam. Yes, his face. Off. Nice. Boys, we roam.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a huge thing. The auto adjust and white balancing, like, oh, it's just so frustrating sometimes. For like some cameras, you just can't get around it. But when you can control it, oh, it's so good. That's what's great. Even that stop motion studio on the iPad or the iPhone, you can get it all, set it all to manual, so you can mitigate a lot of those things. But yeah, my neck is on fire now. Oh, from holding my shoulders at a weird angle to do this. So let me move this. Oh my. But thanks for hanging out, Brushstroke. I might try to finish it tomorrow on stream. I might finish it off stream, but since I've done most of it on stream and it's on YouTube now, for this one at least, I feel like I should go to the end with it. There's not that much left. Let me zoom in. Seconds wise. Ooh, we're at 26 seconds, so there is only a few seconds left, and then some of this is just after credits audio. Yeah, I think I just have to get to here, to 33. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. No, thanks for watching it. It is a weird thing, a weird process anyway. Because it is, you know, so slow. It's a very slow process. Moving things 1 millimeter at a time.
Punch his face. I'd like you to punch his face off. Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to use the little boy's wee room. Yes, his face off. Nice. So, what's that fine, He-Man? That's right. Punch his face. I'd like you to punch his face off. Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to use the little boy's wee room. Yes, his face off. Nice.
All right, so far so good. I feel like I've been putting a little more time into this one. Usually I go a bit more rogue, a little more rough, and not super overly thinking it. But this one, for some reason, I keep overthinking it and taking more time. I think just because it is the face off. I want you to take his face off dialogue, because I thought that would be funny. And so far, I still think it is. But yeah, I think that's it. You haven't said anything to me, like, for this whole stream. It's been over 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you haven't even brought up the fact that I exist. I mean, how dare you? How dare you in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, I don't know. We've been doing Skeletor stuff this whole time. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just sit down here and I'll just watch the show, and you won't even bring me up at all. That's okay. Just another stream. Even though I'm the star of the stream, you're just gonna switch it all over to Skeletor. Fine, replace me with Skeletor. Nobody likes internet cats anymore. That's a fact that doesn't happen. Let's just go to Facebook for 5 seconds and see if there's 35 videos and GIFs of adorable cats, or if there are 300 pictures of Skeletors. I'm pretty sure I'm the one that's gonna win. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that's gonna win. So, I think apologies are in order. Yeah, no, I think I'm just gonna continue on as is. And yeah, if anybody's watching this outside of the stream, we usually do this every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Atlantic time. I forget what that is other times. It's like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, like 3 in the afternoon Central time, I think. I don't know. I'm terrible with time zones. But yeah, that's it. MrCartoons.com for links to merchandise, shirt designs, YouTube, Instagram. All of my updates are always at on my Instagram and or Twitter. I think that's about all the things. I think that's about all of the things. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, I know, Ripley. I know. It's disgusting and it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. The Skeletor is a villain. Skeletor is a downright villain. And I'm barely a villain. I'm hardly, like, almost never a villain. So that's just, I mean, it's just ridiculous that I haven't been the star of this stream. Just ridiculous. You're such a villain. You're an absolute villain. it feels weird talking to you when you're not on when I'm not on the frame with you. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you, brushstrokes. Miles, if you're still listening while you're doing your internet stuff, have a good weekend. But yeah, I'll probably be back tomorrow. And I don't know how to stop talking. Ripley, sweetest angel. Ripley? Hey, play the outro, please. Hot lights. Camera off. All this stuff is getting warm. Can't find anything. Alright, there we go. Everyone likes Cheers because they like Norm.